Hi, I'm Sherry from StudioCherie. This morning, this was a man's shirt, and now it's a cute little something for me to wear. So if you'll travel back with me in time, I'll show you exactly how I made this. Okay, so we're starting here with a man's shirt that has enough room in it. It's bigger than my dress form, so that I have some volume to work with and play with. I've removed the breast pocket because I do want bust darts. I want it all to hang very nicely for me, so that pocket would get in the way of my dart, and it does affect the drape of the fabric. So very carefully with a seam ripper, I've removed that pocket already. And the next thing I'm going to do is carefully with scissors just cut off the collar. I'm not going to be using the collar, and so I'll just cut that off, and I'll also cut away most of the sleeves. I'll probably leave a couple of inches of fabric to work with here in case I need to do some adjusting on the armhole, but I'll cut away most of the sleeves. And then after I've cut away the collar and the sleeves, I'll hang it again and show you how we continue to drape this into a fun top for me. Okay, that's done. Now to really start draping it, I need to cut the side seam. I need to cut the side seams open on both sides. Okay, so I want to show you how easy the bust darts can be. This one I've got pinned and pressed. I started with this and this pin. I just added this one to keep the pressing down until I stitch it. But just to show you how easy that is to form, we don't want the sagging in here in the top, and so all you do is you've got the point where you want the bust dart to end, and you just lift the fabric up and it will naturally form that dart, and you want the grain of the fabric to straighten out. So that's all you're doing, is just lifting up the side a little bit to straighten out the grain of fabric to go around your particular curves, and that bust dart will just happen in draping here, and it's that easy. So then I just pin it and press it, and then I've got that pressed edge to look at on the inside. When I'm stitching it, I stitch along that. I just want to show you really quick, after putting in that bust dart, how far off the armhole is from the original, and that's why I gave myself this couple inches here. If I hadn't, it would be cut off here and down here, and there'd be nothing to stitch to here. So it just helps me get a nice bust dart when I have left something on the sleeves here because of how much that adjusts. Okay, so the next step here is really design options. And what I like about this particular shirt is it's got a lot of fullness and length to it, and I think I want to keep that just for a fun, flowy summer top. So all I'm going to do with this is on the inside I'll add a casing right here and then some elastic and give myself a fun empire waist. Draw this fabric in a little bit more, but then let it flow below. Now sometimes you don't have a shirt this big to work with. It's not this long, maybe not this flowing. Maybe you want a more fitted look. And for that kind of look, what I do is drape the shirt inside out on the dress form and go ahead and pin darts that have a point at the top and a point at the bottom, and the fullness taken out of the middle. Pin those darts right into the shirt when it's draped inside out on the dress form, both on the front and on the back. Give you that nice corset look. So I just wanted to show you the casing. All it is grosgrain ribbon, 1-inch wide grosgrain ribbon, stitched on the inside here, and then the elastic is run through it, and I've secured the elastic with safety pins for now. But it's that simple. So this button that's under here did get stitched closed because I stitched around this button. So it's not a button up top anymore, but with the elastic there's room to pull it on and off. Since this is turning out to be more of really like a short dress, I'm going to leave the fullness in the back, and so the next step is just the side seams. The back is really full, so I brought some of it up here. I'm taking some of it up in the side seam, and I've just pinned both sides really where I want to stitch, allowing plenty of ease still. There's a good amount of ease here for movement in the dress and sitting and walking. So you want to have a couple inches outside of your actual measurement for movement. So I've got it pinned there where I want to stitch, and I could do different stitch finishes. I could stitch it wrong sides together the way it is now. I'll allow maybe 3/8 of an inch outside of where I've pinned, stitching it wrong side together, and then I can turn it right side together and encase that stitch and make a French seam. Alright, so I'm going to be cutting this into a V-neck and finishing the neck with bias trim that I'm cutting out of this other shirt, a shirt that's too small to do anything else with. So out of the sleeves I've cut these flounces. I'm thinking about decorating the front of my dress with flounces, and I just want to show you really briefly how a flounce works. Flatten out the sleeve, cut the sleeve apart, cut the seam, flatten it out, and then you can cut these little circles. They're not very big, and they're not perfectly circular either. They don't have to be. So you need a circle in the middle and a circle on the outside. It's kind of oval, really. And then you slice it open on one side, and what happens when the center circle is straightened out, it makes a flounce. So that's really easy to do. You can make several of them out of each sleeve of a shirt that you're not using and use them to decorate this one. Alright, I've decided I want to cut away more fabric. So what I've done is I've taken a tank top that I like the fit of, and I just put it on over this, and with my fabric marker I'm going to mark where I want the armholes and the neckline, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut those out, and then I should be able to finish it with the bias tape and have a nice finish here. I decided the flounces were too much. I wanted to simplify, so I'm just doing this finish, which is really the simplest way to do it. And here we are, all done with the trim. And in the back I added a tie just to kind of pull the back together more and to help with the pulling from the elastic there on the side. So a little tie on the side there to finish that. Cute as can be.